Joining us to speak more about the Springbok game against the All Blacks and more in South Africa is South African Rugby South African Rugby magazine writer Dylan Jack. Dylan, thank you so much for joining us. Now, before we go into that game with the Springboks, let's talk about the junior Boks. They are set to play for the bronze medal in the Under-20 World Championships. How would you sum up their campaign?
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I'm actually at the stadium as we speak. They're currently leading against England in the second half of this bronze playoff match. They've done quite well. I think they've sorted a lot out from their previous game. Their disappointing semi-final loss against Ireland. They seem to have sorted out their set-piece issues that they experienced in that game. But yeah, on the whole, I think it's been a sort of a mixed campaign for the junior Boks. There's been some pleasing stuff, and then there's been some difficult stuff for them. I think they've perhaps struggled from a lack of regular games together as a team at an international level before they came into this tournament, and perhaps that's something that needs to be looked at going forward. But on the whole, I think securing a bronze medal for this team would be quite a good achievement.
Well, absolutely. Getting that bronze medal will be definitely what they're looking at. Now, to the Springboks and New Zealand, both teams have selected two powerful squads. Where do you think this game will be won or lost, considering how both the All Blacks and the Springboks have played in the last encounter?
Well, I think it's firstly, of course, it's going to be decided up front. I think the battle between the two packs is going to be very, very key. See the Springboks go for that infamous 6-2 split on the bench. And I think that's going to be very decisive in the second half, and those players come onto the field. The likes of Malcolm Marx, R.G. Snyman, Dwayne Vermeulen, they could all have decisive performances in this game. And then, of course, it's also going to come down to how the playmakers control the game. The likes of course, Damian Willemse getting a start at number 10. Against Richie Mo'unga and Aaron Smith, two very experienced players. So that's going to be very, very key as well to see how those guys.
Now, the captain, Eben, has decided to stay on and lead the side out despite losing his father during the week. Well, what do you make of that?
Well, it's a very brave decision, I think. You've got to just have the utmost respect for Eben and condolences to him and his family for what they're going through at the moment. It's obviously a very difficult time for him, but he's clearly decided to play for his late father, which kudos to him. And you've just got to stand up and applaud and respect that decision that he's made to remain with the Springboks when he could have returned home.
The Springboks have already had 14 players in New Zealand trying to acclimatise. How much of a role do you think that will play?
That could be very, very big. We saw them do the same thing back in 2019 in similar circumstances in the build-up to a World Cup. They decided to keep a squad in South Africa to play Australia and then send players over to New Zealand to prepare for that game. And they managed to get a good 16-16 draw. So, I mean, I think it will have a good impact. The players are clearly able to acclimatise, get used to the conditions. And you've also got players coming over, the likes of Lukhanyo Bongi and Bonambi, guys like that who will have a game under their belt to be match ready.
Many are calling this game a decider, considering that this is a shortened rugby championship. Would you agree that it could potentially be a decider for whoever wins it to take an upper hand in possibly winning the championship?
Oh, absolutely. It'll definitely be a decisive game in the competition. I mean, whoever wins it at least has the inside lane, and they're going into the final round. Springboks playing against Argentina at Ellis Park. If they manage to get some sort of points out of it, whether it's too low, if they do manage to even get a win out of this, then that definitely puts them in the driving seat for the Rugby Championship. And again, winning it in the World Cup year as they did in 2019.
Well, Dylan, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. That's Dylan Jack talking to us about the performance of the Under-20 team, but also looking ahead at the Springboks and New Zealand.